Hello there, people. It's Divian here from Property Success Academy. I hope you're doing all doing really well today. So, what are we talking about today? Well, I came up with a title, and I actually can't remember what that title is right now. But I will. I wrote the title in, and I know what we're talking about anyway, but totally forgot the title. So, today we're going to be talking about how to create credibility, get more deals from agents and become their number one contact without being awkward, manipulative, salesy, weird, using crazy NLP techniques or, all these other things that people tell you to use, but you don't actually need to use them. We've never really done. I've never really used them. Well, actually, that's a lie. I've tried using them, and it was really awkward and weird, and it just didn't really work. So I'm going to start with telling you to go to www. I'm going to put it in the comments as well. propertysuccessacademy.com / 5-bed case study. Everything we talk about, everything I talk about today is going to relate to this 5-bed case study. So it's exactly how I went out and got deals, and this is an example for the 5-bed case study. Is an example of one of the deals that we've done. We've done multiple deals, and this is just an example of one of them. And I use these techniques that I'm gonna. It's not really. See, what I'm going to talk about today is not really techniques. It's not this like, oh, use this little NLP thing here or that bit there. It's really about. It's about doing it totally different to that. You might be surprised, but we do things totally different to how most people tell you how to do it. And the reason we do that is because it works way better. And it's quite funny because a lot of people think you got to be NLP, you use all these tactics, you got to, I can't even remember the words. To be honest, I'm not an NLP expert. I don't really know a lot about it. And to be honest, when I started learning a little bit of it just from looking at videos and stuff, it's just really awkward and weird and confusing and manipulative and it's really difficult to remember. So I was just like, hey, you know what? I'm going to do it a totally different way. I'm just going to go in and be me. So. But by doing that, we've created credibility. We get more deals. In fact, we've just offered on 5 property deals, on 5 rent-to-rent deals this week. And we're waiting to hear back from them. And we're just completing one. If you look in the news feed, not right now, but after this video, look in the news feed below. You'll see one of the properties that we took on, that we're doing works on at the minute. The work should be finished at the end of next week, so I'll do a video once it's all done. You can see how nice we make the properties. If you just joined us, by the way, say hello. This is like a party, right? This live feed is like a party. I don't want to just sit here and just talk at you for 20-30 minutes. I want to know who's on here. I want to know your questions as well, because I want to answer your questions. I want to help you to move forward in property, move forward in your property business, start thinking about your property business differently, and start getting better results than what you're getting right now. And the only way you do that is by asking questions and finding the answer to them questions. When I was a kid, I was that annoying kid, and even to this day, I'm still that annoying kid, right? I was that annoying kid, and those of you who've got kids may have kids like this, but, they might seem a little bit annoying, but actually, this is great. If you've got kids, this is great, because they're learning, right? I was that annoying kid who always asked questions, why? I always ask the question, why? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing... And I was always hungry and thirsty for knowledge and know-how of why we do what we do. And not just how we do it, and, how to make it better and quicker and more fun and things like that. So, ask your questions. Somebody once said to me, the stupidest question is the one you do not ask. So if you've got questions, put it in the comments below. I want to answer them today for you. If not today, send me an email, post on the page. Somehow get in contact and ask me your questions if you've got questions. So to begin with, go to propertysuccessacademy.com / 5-bed case study, because everything I'm going to talk about right now is going to relate to that 5-bed case study. All of what I'm talking about is how I went about getting that 5-bed property. and every single other property deal that we've got. And it's different to what most people teach you, because what most people teach you is the NLP techniques. If you heard of NLP, the manipulative technique, how to, I learned it. Go up to an agent's window and have a look at the window and peek through the little gaps between the different listings and figure out who's sitting on the front desk and who's sitting on the back desk, and you have different names for the different people and treat them differently and all this kind of stuff. And that's all great, that's all great. It does work, don't get me wrong, it works. But, that was never me. I don't like being manipulative and kind of using these tactics, if you like, to get deals. So I was like, well, how do we do this? How do we do this without being all manipulative? Because it seems that everybody does it that way, and there's got to be another way. So this is what I'm just about to teach you, is how to create credibility, get more deals, keep getting deals in the long term, and be the number one contact for the agent or agents in your area to get deals no matter what type of deals you're looking for. I mean, we specifically mainly focus on rent-to-rent deals, and we do purchase some properties as well, but we mainly focus on rent-to-rent deals, and this is how we build the relationships. And we are the number one people that specific agents come to in Coventry to give deals to, rent-to-rent deals. It's not that there's not other people doing deals in Coventry, is that they prefer to come to us. And I'm going to teach you exactly why in this live stream. So if you come on, say hello. I can see there's a load of people viewing. We're up to like 7, 8 viewers, 9 viewers, on and off. But I can't actually see who they are. Can't see your names or anything. But so if you're here, just say hello in the chat box, because I'd love to just say hello to you. It'd be really cool. So let's get into it, right? So let's get into it. Let's get into how to create credibility, get more deals from agents, and become their number one contact without being awkward or manipulative or weird or NLP-ish and all that kind of stuff. So first of all, you need to understand one key principle, right? This is the most important principle you could learn. It doesn't matter what business you run, but this is the most important principle you could learn in business. Hands down, right? This is the most important business principle I've ever learned in business, and that you can learn. So I'm going to spell it out for you. Some of you may know what it is. Some of you may not. If you do know what it is, let me know. If you don't, that's cool. I'm going to explain what it is. So it's a principle. Hopefully that's the right way around. It looks the wrong way around on my screen, but hopefully on your screen it's the right way around. I think it is. So it's WIIFM. Now this is a radio station, WIIFM. If you've got a pen and paper, write it down yourself. Probably write it down the side of the page so you can fill out what the acronym actually spells out to be. But this is an important principle. This is a principle that that you need to be having in your head all the time. All the time. No matter what you're doing, you got to understand this principle, because this is this is the crux of why people do business with you, right? Is when you understand this principle, people will want to do business with you. So can anybody guess what WIIFM stands for? If you know what it is, put it in the chat box. I'd love to hear what that you know what it is. If you don't, that's cool. I'm going to go through it in a moment. And if you have just joined it, because we've got new people coming, this is like a party, right? There's new people coming and some people going, and it's like, I'm a little bit bored now, so I'm going to leave, which is cool. And some people are like, yo, there's a party here, let's come and join it. And it's a bit like a party. It's a virtual party, people. And I like to be social, I like to party and stuff. So it's really cool. So if you have just joined, say hello, because that's what you do at parties, right? You say hello, and then if you do drink, I don't drink, but if you do drink, grab a drink, and enjoy, right? So what we're talking about is how to create credibility, get more deals from agents, become the number one contact without being awkward, weird, manipulative, NLP-ish. And the principle I'm talking about right now is WIIFM. So what does WIIFM stand for? This is the biggest lesson you could ever learn in business, ever, times infinity and beyond. So the W stands for what? Let's just show you that. What? Yeah? So what is? And the I stands for... I think I need a better pen, but I haven't got a better pen right now, so we'll roll with this. So the first I stands for in. The second I stands for it. The F stands for for. And the M stands for me. So if we go in order, it says, what's in it for me? This is a radio station that everybody is plugged into 24/7, 365, as long as they're awake, and sometimes whenever they're asleep. This is the radio station they're plugged into. What's in it for me? And the reason people plug into this radio station is because that's the way we're programmed as humans. We're always constantly thinking, what's in it for me? If someone asks you to do something, you're thinking, well, what's in it for me? What's going to motivate me to go and do that thing that you want me to do? Right? So when you're looking to get deals from agents, some people go in and go, yeah, I've got money. I'm the money man. And I'm going to get deals because I've got money. Well, it doesn't mean you're going to get deals because, yes, agents want to sell properties. They want to do deals with you and stuff. But the truth is that they want to know, first of all, what's in it for them. You know, anybody can walk into an estate agency and offer 50% below market value and hope that the offer is accepted. It doesn't take a genius to do that. Most of you won't do that because you're scared of walking in offering 50% BMV. And, you know, I was previously. And to be honest, you wouldn't want to do that. Hey, cool, we've got 10 people tuned in already. Awesome. So most people don't want to do that because it's like scary. It's like, why would I offer 50% BMV? Or why would I go and talk to an agent about a rent-to-rent deal? Do they understand this concept? And most of them don't. And that's the truth, they don't. But most people go in thinking, can I get a deal as soon as I walk into the estate agency or the lettings agency? When I pitch my rent-to-rent stuff, will they give me a deal on the first time that I call them up ever? And it's like, well, no. Who do you ever do any business with where the first time you ever talk to them, you make a deal happen? Let's just assume everybody here, every single person on the whole planet is a customer of some product or service or something. You buy stuff every day, right? That's how our economy runs, right? You have to buy stuff. You have money, exchange it for stuff. Wouldn't it be cool if we went back to the barter kind of method of doing stuff? You know the barter. I'll give you 2 sheep for like 15 sacks of potatoes. You know, like that'd be pretty. I think that'd be a pretty cool economy. But we're not in that economy. We have money, and money exchanges hands, and you buy stuff, right? And we do this transaction, and actually, you know, money's just totally made up, right? Somebody decided to print money, and you know, we transact it for stuff. But the thing is that whenever you buy something, you don't buy it the first time you ever see it. No, now and then you might, but if it was really cheap, but most of the time, even if it was a couple of quid, most of the time you are not going to buy that thing on the very first time that you see it, right? You're going to have multiple points of contact with that brand. Let's say it's a new chocolate bar, right? New chocolate bar, the best chocolate bar ever, and you've never heard of the company that's selling it. Well, you're not going to buy it straight away. Because you never heard of that company, you never heard of the chocolate bar, you never tried it. You're not just going to go and buy it. Some people will, you know, 5 to 10% of the population will, but 90% of us won't go and buy it. You need to build that know, like, and trust, right, before you buy it. And so what you're really thinking there is, what's in it for me? If I buy that chocolate bar for £3 today, and I eat it and I don't like it, okay, £3, that's quite expensive actually. Let's say £1. I'll buy that chocolate bar and it's £1, and what's in it for me? Well, what's in it for me is that I could like it, but I don't really know if I like it because I've not seen any branding around it. I've not seen it very often. I don't really know what it's about. So I don't know. There's uncertainty there. So, you know, you're probably not going to buy it. And that's a £1 chocolate bar, right? So what makes you think you're going to walk into an agency of any sort and all of a sudden get a deal? The truth is, it's not going to happen. Sometimes it will, but most of the time you've got to build that relationship. Because what the agent is thinking, when you go and pitch something like a rent-to-rent deal, is, what's in it for me? When you pitch a 50% below market value deal, they're thinking, what's in it for me? When you go direct to vendor, they're thinking, what's in it for me? And really, people don't do deals because they need to sell their property. People don't do deals because of the offer you put forward, right? People don't do rent-to-rent deals because you've offered a rent-to-rent. People do deals because you're solving a problem for them. And that problem, they're thinking, what's in it for me? Well, when you solve a problem for them, there is something in it for them. So you fulfill this radio station. What's in it for me? WIIFM. Okay, so and this is one of the most important principles that you can have and hold as a property investor. Doesn't matter what type of deals you're doing. When you have and hold this principle in everything that you do, your business will be bigger. It will be better. It will be more profitable. You have more deals. You'll have more choice. You have better relationships. You'll be the number one player in your market for the type of deal that you're looking for, because you're thinking about what's in it for me. And by the way, just to be really clear, I don't mean what's in it for me as in yourself. I mean what's in it for me as in the person who you're doing the deal with, right? That's what they're thinking. You need to solve a problem for them, and you need to fulfill this so that they know that there is something in it for them. So let's talk about this in a little bit more detail, because this principle has enabled us to become the number one people to go to give rent-to-rent deals to from a couple of different agents in Coventry. Now, we're not the only people who do rent-to-rent in Coventry. We know of quite a number of people who do rent-to-rents in Coventry. It's a great place to do rent-to-rents. So what differentiates us over them? We weren't the first to start doing it. We are not we're not like doing some crazy, we're not doing stuff which is more creative than anybody else. We are just the preferred contact, and there's a reason for that, because we always think about what's in it for me being the person at the other end. And I want to show you another model right now. So this is what I call in rent to rent the triangle of motivation, the motivation triangle, right? And you know, if you're doing different types of deals to rent, that's okay. These principles still apply. It's just not a triangle, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. The principle still applies. So I'm going to teach you this right now. So you have a triangle. Draw a triangle on your page. Everybody knows what a triangle looks like. And there's 3 points to the triangle. So you've got you at the top there. You've got the agent there. Can you see that? Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So you've got the agent over this side, and then you've got the landlord over here. To be honest, it doesn't matter which way round it is. I just drew it this way because I did. There's no logic behind which way I drew it, to be honest. But the point is, you've got 3 points to the triangle, 3 different type of people on the triangle, yeah, the 3 parts of this triangle. So before I go into this, if you've got any kind of value, you know, like this video, please. If you share it with people. I want to spread the love, really. I want to spread this knowledge. If you think anybody could potentially benefit from what I'm talking about in any way, shape, or form, please share it. Maybe you want to share it on private message, share it on your Facebook page, however, email it, whatever. If you think there's any kind of value for anybody that you know, just please share the video, because I just want to get it out to more people and make sure that I'm helping educate people so that they can go and get more deals. That's what it's about. Getting more deals, doing more deals, and you'll reach your goals as a result of that, right? Even if you just learn one thing from this video, that's cool. That's super cool. I'm really happy, because you've learned something, and you then go and take massive action and implement it. So like it, share it, please. And also, if you haven't already, go to propertysuccessacademy.com/5-bed case study, because everything I'm talking about here applies to that case study. It's a free case study. You don't have to pay anything for it. No shenanigans going on. I'm not going to sell you. Once you put your name and email address, there is no sale button there. There's nothing to buy after you opt in to get the free lead magnet. I will send you some emails, but there's nothing to buy. Nothing to buy straight away. I'm not going to say, hey, here's the secret key that I didn't tell you when you opted in, that you got to buy to actually understand this. It's all there, right? Okay, so just go to propertysuccessacademy.com/5-bed case study and go and download the case study straight after the video, or even now you can go and do it, because it's super cool. Put it together, spend time doing it, and it's super cool. And you can go and do the same types of deals. So let's talk about this triangle again. So So we spoke about what WIIFM, the radio station, what's in it for me, and now I'm talking about the motivation triangle, the rent-to-rent motivation triangle. Now, if you're not doing rent-to-rent, this still applies. This still applies. It's just you take out you take out one of these, either the landlord or the agent, depending on how you're doing the deal. If you're buying through an agent, then you still might keep the landlord there. If you're going direct to the landlord, obviously you take the agent out. But it still applies to you, right? Doesn't matter what type of deals you're doing, it still applies. So in this motivation triangle, you have 3 points to it. And I'm going to talk about each one in the order of, let me see my face, in the order of importance. If you just joined us, hello, welcome, and join the party. This is a really cool video live stream thing, new thing that Facebook put out, and I just love doing it because it's good fun. So if you have just joined us, say hello, because I'd love to see who's on here. And if you got any questions, then fire them away, because I like answering questions for people and helping them out. So we're talking about this motivation triangle, the rent-to-rent motivation triangle, and so this triangle has 3 points: you, agent, and landlord. And I just want to tell you why this is important. This is important because for you to get deals, you need to understand what's in it for me. WIIFM, right? You need to understand what's in it for the landlord, what's in it for the agent. And why is this important? Because these are the people, these 3 points, these 3 people are the people who make your deal happen. Right? This is important, right? These are the, oh, hi Andy. Oh yeah, it's Andy. Hi Andy, how you doing? Great to see you on here, bud. Yeah, if you got any questions, obviously Andy, fire away, because I love questions, bud. And like and share it when you get a chance. So we're talking about motivation triangle. Why is this really important? Because these are the people who make deals happen. These are the people who will help you to get rent-to-rent deals, or deals generally. And if you do not understand these people, you need to understand these people better than they understand themselves. And the better you understand them, the more likely you're going to get deals. Not just today, but moving forward in the future, consistently getting deals. That's what it's about, consistently getting deals. And you only consistently get deals when you build real relationships, not this kind of phony NLP tricky stuff. Because look, NLP works, but the problem with NLP is that the problem with NLP is that people intrinsically, deep down inside, intrinsically know what you're doing. They may not understand the concept of what you're doing. They may not understand the tactics that you're using. But deep down inside, subconsciously, they kind of get that they're being manipulated. And people are becoming a lot more savvy to this. So, 10 years ago, 6 years, even 6 years ago when I started, using that kind of stuff, it worked a lot better than it does now. 10 years ago, it worked better. But we're in the UK, and the UK people are people in the UK are skeptical. It's just our nature, right? And when you start to understand that, and when you start to really work with agents and landlords versus trying to get one over them, that's when you create a long-term business. Long-term being the key there. I don't know about you, but I want to create a lot. I like the fact that I have a long-term business. I don't want to find a deal today that's amazing and not be able to find one in a couple of months' time or in a year's time, because I've tried to make it the very best deal for me and done a deal, but actually that person doesn't want to do any more deals with me because I didn't think of them. And people are savvy to this now. The authentic person is savvy to this. So let's talk about this motivation triangle. I can't hold it up forever. Hopefully you've drawn it, written it down. So let's talk about the most important person in this triangle, and that is the agent. When you're looking for rent-to-rent deals or deals to purchase, it doesn't matter what type of deal you're looking for, the agent is the most important person in this motivation triangle. Now, anybody want to guess why they're the most important person? Type it in the comments. Let me know why you think they're the most important person. I'll reveal it in a minute while you're typing away. And while you're doing that, type in the chat, in the comments, to go, hey, they're the most important person. Why are agents the most important people when looking for deals? Let me know. Type it in the comments. And while you're doing that, just remember, go to propertysuccessacademy.com/5-bed case study and download the case study. It's completely free. You get a video with it, and it's really cool. It explains how I did a 5-bed deal that generates over £8,000 net income per year without owning a property, without putting a large deposit in, and without getting a mortgage. So, you know, if you want to do that and get some real good cash flow coming in, like we do from our properties, like other people do. Andy, who's on here, Andy Tollo, has just started our program, and he's already looking at these types of rent-to-rent deals and looking at getting really good cash flow. By the way, Andy is an amazing action taker, so well done, Andy, because I know I spoke to you last week. It was a week ago I spoke to you, and you are taking some great action, bud. So keep doing that, because that's what gets results, right? You're taking action. So the reason why agents are the most important people in this motivation triangle just here is because agents can bring you deals, not just today, not tomorrow, not just next week, not just the month after, but the month after that, and the month after that, and the year after that, and the year after that. So agents have contacts with multiple landlords, and for example, the agents we work with, they have loads of contacts because they've been running for years in Coventry. In fact, at one point, they were the biggest agency in Coventry. They're not now because of demergers and stuff like that, but that doesn't mean to say they don't have huge numbers of contacts, and they do. They're really well known in Coventry. So that's why we can do more deals, because we've created a relationship with the agent, and we know the agent better than ourselves. And we ask questions. We ask this question specifically. So let me give you a quick story. We've offered on 5 properties in Coventry, and one of them is a great big 8-bedroom property. And in this property, there are already students in the property, and the landlord can get about £4,000 a month rent from this property. Now, we look to make a minimum of £100 a month per room. So in an 8-bed, we look to make at least £800. And so we went to have a look at the property, and it's a really nice property, right? It's, you know, every single room is en suite, and we just know that as soon as we get this, the rooms will fly off the shelf, they'll stay full, and we won't have to do a lot of work. And so it's a great deal. We want to do the deal. However, when we went to view the property, we asked the question, well, what's in it for the landlord? The landlord's already renting it for £4,000 a month, right? He takes his costs and fees and all that kind of out of it and stuff. But what's in it for him? Because we're going to offer him about £2,500, maybe a little bit more than £2,500. And why would he take such a drop? Well, the agent said to us, the reason he would take a drop is because of the certainty of the income coming in and getting rid of the hassle. Now, did you see what we did there? We looked at it and we went, what's in it for the landlord? But when you're starting out, the first thing you want to be doing is you want to be understanding what's in it for the agent. Now, the agent, we pay them a fee. Every time we do a deal, we pay them a fee, and we pay them a fee for the number of rooms that's in the house, instead of a fee for the whole house. And not only that, we go to the agent and we build this relationship with the agent. We're real about it. We're like, hey, you know, this is the real us. We're not trying to manipulate you. We're trying to work with you. Right? We want to make your life easier. We want you to get more deals done with less effort, and we want the landlords to be happy because we're looking after their properties, and that makes you look good, and you earn money from basically doing nothing because you still get a management fee from that, and we earn money because we're doing what we're doing, and the landlord's happy as well. So we're always looking at it from outside of ourselves. We know what we want. We know what our criteria is. That's simple. That's the easy bit, right? Anybody can do that. Go on Rightmove, pick a property, and you can see whether it's a deal, could be a deal or not, right? That's the easy bit. The difficult bit is really being the authority figure, right? Being the preeminent person in the market, the fiduciary. So if you don't know what fiduciary means, go and look it up in Google, because it's a very important term. And that's how we see ourselves. And that's how you should see yourself, as the fiduciary. A fiduciary is a trusted advisor. And being preeminent in the market means you are the best at what you do. You're not the one who does the most number of deals. You are the best at what you do. And that's what we pride ourselves on. That's what you should. And when you go into the agent, you go, you know what? I'm the best at what I do. I look after properties. I make sure they're painted regularly. We do inspections regularly. We vet our tenants really well. We put only professional tenants into our properties. And as a result of all of the above, we will keep your property in really good condition. Minus a little bit of wear and tear, that's gonna happen regardless. But when you walk into your property in 5 years' time, or in a year's time, or 2 years' time, it's not going to be in a horrible state. It's going to be in a great state. And we can guarantee the rent for you. And that's what we do, right? And that's because we do rent-to-rent deal. Now, if you're doing different types of deals, obviously, you're going to walk in being the fiduciary, doing not just the best for you, but the best for the other people involved. So the agent, what's the best for the agent? Well, when you understand agents, you understand that they're on a commission. That's how they work. Yes, if they're managing a property, they get the management fee. If they're renting a property out, they get the commission of renting each room out. If they're selling a property, if that's your strategy of buying properties, then they get a commission from selling that property. Now, let's take the example of selling a property. If an agent sells a property for, let's just pick the figure 100,000 because it makes the maths easy and it's late in the day, and we like doing easy maths, right? The agent sells the property for £100,000. Now their commission, let's say, is 1.5% of £1,500. Out of that £1,500, the agent who actually sells the property, the actual person, the sales negotiator, will get, say, 10%. Let's make the maths really easy. 10%. That's £150. Now, if you think about this, whether the agent sells it for 100k or 90k doesn't make that much difference to their commission, because they sell it for 100k, they get £1,500, of which they get 10%. So the agent, the negotiator themselves, gets £150. They sell it for 90k, and I just picked a really horrible number to calculate. So I am going to calculate this live right now because I don't do numbers anymore in my head. That's what we have calculators for. So there's no point doing it in your head, really. So that'll be £1,350. The agent who actually sells that is going to get £135. And as you can see, that's only a £15 difference. So they're not motivated by the fact that you're going to make a lower offer. The agent's not motivated by that. The agent motivated by, how do I sell this property quickly if you're purchasing property, and the agent is motivated by how, if you're doing rent-to-rent deals, is how do I make money quicker, make my life easier in that whole process. So how do I rent this quicker with less effort and make the same amount of money, or maybe even more? And what we do is we go in, and they know that on the first viewing we will be able to walk in and say, yes, it's a deal, no, it's not, or this is our offer. There's no faffing around involved. There's not, they don't have to take, 20 groups of students round to get one of them to take the house. We walk in, we have a really thorough look around. We don't walk in and do a 5-minute job. We walk in and have a good look around the property, because you don't want to go in and then have to go back again and do a provisional offer based on looking at something else. You want to go in and you want to nail it straight away and have a look at everything in detail, really understand the property, and then go, hey, yes, this is right for me. No, it's not. What else you got? So understanding the agent's motivation. What's in it for the agent? Well, you've got their commission, their commission for renting each room out. We pay a commission for every room that we take. So if it's a 4-bedroom house, we pay 4 bedrooms worth of commission. If it's a 10-bedroom house, we pay 10 bedrooms worth of commission. And when you get to know the agents, sometimes from a cash flow point of view, that's not a great idea. So we looked at a big 8-bedroom property and we went, okay, well, yes, we could pay you all the commissions up front, but that doesn't really work as well for us, because we've got to put more money in, and we don't want to do that. So how about we put some money in now? We'll put some of the commission, the admin fees into you now, and then we put some of them a month or two down the line. Will that work for you? And they were quite happy with it. So you got to understand the motivation of the agent first and foremost, because they are going to be motivated by, one, their commissions, right? What's in it for them? Their commissions, their monthly management fee that they don't have to do any work for, right? Any work. Even if this is a big problem in the house, we go in and we quote it up, we talk to the landlord, we go, hey, this is what it's going to cost, you happy to pay for it? Right? If not, that's cool, you can send your guys in. But we do all the hard work for them, right? We do the hard work because that's the value that we add. And then So their one-off commission, their monthly management commission, but also the secret one that most people don't really talk about, most people don't really understand, most people don't really think about, is the fact that we keep these properties, these rent-to-rent properties up in one right now in amazing condition, right? When tenants leave, we paint the rooms if they need painting. We replace carpets when they need replacing. We replace curtains when they need replacing. We look after the properties. We get a cleaner in regularly. And when the landlord walks in and they go, wow, I can't believe my property's still in this state 5 years down the line, that's when the agents who we're working with, we make them look good. Right? We make them look good. So they want to do more deals with us because when they look good, they get more business, not just the rent-to-rent deals, but other types of deals. And then they want to work with us even more because most landlords don't want to spend money on their properties. They get in not so great tenants and then the tenants mess it up. They've got to spend loads of money refurbing it and it's just a big hassle for them. So where we add the values or we keep it in amazing condition. So when they do get it back, if they do choose to cancel their contract at the end of it, sometimes they renew, sometimes they don't, but if they do choose to cancel it and take it back, they're in amazing condition and the agent's really happy. So the number one person we want to please is the agent because the agent has access to lots and lots of deals. So we talk about creating credibility with the agents. Well, credibility with the agents is about being a preeminent and being a fiduciary, being an advisor, being somebody who really who does the best for the landlord and for the agent. The deal has to work for you, obviously, but then you've got to look at the deal and go, does this really work for the landlord? Right? Because when you do the best for the landlord, not just thinking about yourself, that's when you become a trusted advisor. And that's when you create way more, you become an authority, create way more credibility than in any other way. And when you do that, that's when agents will come to you. You'll be the number one person they want to come to, and they'll come to you over and over and over and over and over and over again and keep bringing you deals as long as you want to do deals. And it's just not awkward. It's not this kind of weird, manipulative NLP kind of stuff that you got to do to get deals every time. It's just like, so we ring the agent and go, hey dude, look, it just doesn't work for us. I don't understand what's in it for the landlord. What does the offer have to be for us to get the deal? Well, this much. Okay, well that's not really a deal for us. So it's cool. We're going to pass on that one and we'll go on to the next one. And the agents appreciate that because it's to the point. It's authentic. It's not, so if I offered a number with a 2,000 and something, do you think they'll accept? And then you come in, well, my offer is £2,000, £2,097. Well, the landlord wants closer to 3. Okay, let's come in with £2,161.19. Or something like that. You know, there's things called round number, random number. You know, little tricks like that. We don't do that. We just go in and go, look, this is what we can offer. How does that work for you? It doesn't work for you. Okay, cool. So how, you know, what are you looking for realistically? Because what we do, what we offer, what our service is totally different to what anybody else offers out there. And this is what we're giving you. This is all the benefits of what we're giving you. This is what's in it for you. And then we say, and that's why we can't offer market value. That's why we may not be able to offer exactly what you're wanting to get, but we might be able to do a deal that totally gets rid of the problem for you. And that's what it is when we go in and we're working on what's in it for them. So for the agents, it's ease. And then, you know, on the triangle, let's go back to the triangle. For the landlord, it's ease as well. It's like, hey, you can sign a 5-year contract with us. You get paid every single month. We're not going to come back to you with any maintenance stuff unless it's a big problem that obviously we'll come back to you. But all little stuff we'll deal with. We'll vet all the tenants. We'll take responsibility for that. We'll do all the DPS stuff. You don't have to pay agent fees every single year. It's just do the deal, sign the contract, give us the keys, and forget about it for 5 years. And you'll see the money coming in every single month. That's what's in it for the landlords, right? And what's in it for the agents is hands-free. You know, they don't have to manage it, and they still get the 10% that they normally charge. So really, you got to think about what's in it for. And the thing is, in this triangle, you know what's in it for you. That's the easy bit. Everybody knows what's in it for you, for yourself. But you want to know what's in it for the agent and the landlord. And when you really understand that inside out, as I've explained on this live stream, you will be able to grow a business that is unstoppable. I mean that, unstoppable. Doesn't mean you're going to do every single deal. Let's be real, right? You ain't going to do every single deal, property deal that ever comes your way. It's not possible. The world doesn't work like that. We don't do every deal that comes our way. However, we will continue to get leads, continue to do deals, continue to build relationships, continue to make people's lives easier, the agents and the landlords, because what we're doing is we're thinking about what's in it for them. We do our numbers, but when we focus, once we know what works for us and doesn't work for us, we focus 100% on what's in it for the agent and what's in it for the landlord. And does that work with what would work as a deal for us? So let's just summarize what we've talked about today, because I've talked about quite a lot of different things. So first of all, we went through the model of WIIFM, the radio station, WIIFM. And WIIFM is a radio station that everybody's tuned into all the time. And it stands for What's in It for Me. That's the question, right? What's in it for me? And then we spoke about the fact that there's this motivation triangle in rent to rent. Now, this motivation triangle still exists no matter what type of property deal you're doing. You may have to take one of these out. If you're going direct to vendor, then obviously it's just you and the landlord. If you're going through the agent, then the landlord turns into a seller, unless obviously they're a landlord. So, this motivation triangle applies to every type of deal that you do. You may have to just take a little bit out. And you want to apply this principle of what's in it for me being the other person, right? And answer that question for the agent and the landlord. Because you know what's in it for you. You know what's a deal for you. You know what your criteria is. So then you need to really identify what's in it for the agent or what's in it for the landlord. So once you've done that, you can really go out and build authentic relationships and just explain yourself to the agents. Go, hey, I'm looking to do a deal with you. I'm looking to do a deal with a rent-to-rent deal with the landlord. And how it works for me is like this. This is the value that we add. This is what's in it for the landlord. This is what's in it for you. And this is how it works. So this is what I can do. And this is what I can't do. So if we can't do a deal, that's cool. We just move on and do the next one. But we're authentic. We're the fiduciary. We're the preeminent person, the company in the market. We are the trusted advisors on this type of deal in your area. When you become that, deals come to you left, right, and center. And I'll tell you a really quick story here, because we're going to end in a moment. One of the ways I found a deal is I went to a local property meeting, the Coventry PIN meeting, if you've ever heard of the PIN network. And I went along to Coventry PIN meeting, and I used to help out at this property network meeting. Every single month, I would come to the meeting, I would help out, and I'd stand up and do my 20 to 30 second pitch, because some property network events allow you to stand up and do a 30-second pitch. And every month I'd go in and I'd go, hey, my name is Divya Mishri. I operate in Coventry, and what I can help you do is I can help you, if you've got properties in Coventry, I can help you by guaranteeing the rent on your properties. You get no void periods, hardly any maintenance for 5 years, no hassle. Just give it to us and you don't have to think about it. If that sounds like it could be of interest, or you got any questions about multi-letting properties, come and speak to me. So I'm doing a little bit of a pitch, but what I'm saying is, if there's anything I can help you with in Coventry, specifically doing multi-lets or otherwise, come and speak to me. And there's a landlord in Coventry who's got quite a number of properties, and every month he'd come and speak to me and we'd just have a chat and nothing really specific. Then one day he rings me up and he says, Divian, I'm looking at multi-let in one of my properties. I've never really done multi-let before. He usually does low-end properties, and he makes quite a lot of money because he'll buy £50,000 properties, £40,000 properties, and rent them for £400 or £500 a month. But he'll buy them cash because you can't get mortgages for them. And he goes, I want to do multi-lets. And I'm thinking, I've got a property and I want a multi-let. How do you do it? And I said, look, but this is how you do it. You go onto these websites and you put adverts up and you take the phone calls and you show them around. And this is roughly how much rent that we get. And you're going to have to factor in the cost of bills. And this is the cost of bills. And then get a cleaner in and do this and do that and do this and blah, 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 blah. And I just told him. I just became the trusted advisor, the fiduciary to him. And he tried it and it didn't work for him because his model, he didn't want to do that many viewings and stuff. And it just didn't work for him. So then he tried to sell the property, and selling it didn't work because he he didn't get a buyer at the price that he wanted. So then he started trying to rent it as a single let property, and he went to try and rent it, and he got a doctor, somebody who was going to take it, and then they didn't take it. And then when they didn't take it, he invited me into the property. We had a couple of hours there in his garden, really nice garden, and we chatted, and we said, okay, look, we'll come back to you with what we can offer you. And we came back, and he'd already found somebody else to go into the property, a doctor, and the doctor was going to rent the whole property. And then a couple of weeks later, I get a phone call from him, and he goes, Divian, it fell through. I'm just at the point where I just need to kind of do something with the property because it's losing. You know, I've got a lot of properties, but it's still losing me money. So can you do that deal still? And I said, yeah, of course we can. So I said, this is what we're going to offer. This is how it's going to work. And he goes, cool. When can we sign the contract? We signed the contract, and that is the best deal we have ever done. Not because it earns us the most amount of money, although it's up there. It earns us about £800 a month when it's full. But we fill them rooms so easily, and it hardly ever causes any problems. We have some amazing tenants in there. They're quiet. It's an amazing area. It's an area that you never really think about multi-letting a property. But it was such an easy deal to do, because what I did to begin with is become the fiduciary, the advisor, the trusted person, the expert, the person, the authority. And I gave before I asked for something in return. And I'm going to leave you with this. Stephen Covey, who wrote the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, so just focusing on what's in it for me, he said, habit number 5. I read this book when I was about 13 years old, by the way, and I remember habit number 5 so vividly. Every time someone mentioned that book, habit number 5 comes into my head. Can't remember the rest of them, but I remember habit number 5. And habit number 5 is seek to understand, then to be understood. Seek to understand, then to be understood. So write that down. You've got a pen and paper. Seek to understand, then to be understood. That is the key to success in business and creating credibility. Is understand them. Understand the people you're working with. Understand your people you're trying to do a deal with. Really get them inside out. Get them better than they get themselves. And then you can go to them and do deals with them, and they'll love you. They'll know, like, and trust you, and they want to do deals with you, and they'll keep bringing you stuff. And that's how you build credibility, get more deals from agents, and become their number one contact without being awkward, manipulative, weird, NLP-ish, salesy, all that kind of stuff. You just build a relationship and become the trusted fiduciary, advisor, expert, consultant, coach, whatever you want to call yourself, guru, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But become the fiduciary advisor by becoming the number one person that they go to when they want questions answering, when they think that, how do I do this thing? Just help them and you'll get deals. It's surprising where you can get deals from. But specifically when going to agents, if you understand them better than they understand themselves, and the landlord better than they understand themselves, and you question things like, what's in it for the landlord? If it doesn't look like a deal for the landlord, you question that and go, what's in it for the landlord? Why would the landlord do this? That creates massive credibility, because most people will try and do the deal anyway, right? They'll just try and do the deal. But they don't see the bigger picture. When you create this bigger picture of, hey, what's actually in it for the landlord? Why would the landlord do this? And you question that. Now you become trusted, because you're not just doing it for you to get a deal, but you're doing it for the better of the agent and the landlord. And people see that and want to do more deals with you. So I'm going to leave you with this. Go to propertysuccessacademy.com/5-bed case study. And what's in it for you on the 5-bed case study? Well, on that case study, I talk about how I do rent-to-rent deals specifically. And I explain what rent-to-rent deals are when you go there. But effectively, I do deals, we do deals where we take properties that we don't own, we don't put large deposits in, we don't get mortgages on them, and we make £8,000 plus net every single year from these properties that we do. Per property, by the way. Per property, net. That's in my pocket before I pay tax, obviously. You have to pay the taxman some money. What's in it for you there was a free case study. It's a download that you can download, and there's a video with it that it goes through the case study, explains the case study, exactly how we do these deals, and the mechanics behind it. And so when you go there, propertysuccessacademy.com/5-bed case study. The link is in the comments. I'm guessing it's below. I don't really know. To me, it's on the side here, actually, on my phone, but that's because I've turned it to the side. So it's probably below here. I'll put it in there. Go there, download the case study, and have a read of it. Watch the video, really understand what it's about, because this is a great strategy for you to get started very quickly and get some deals that can bring them some real cash flow into your property business. And who does this work for? Well, people who are starting out in property, people who are middle level of experience, people who are really experienced. Lots of different types of people use this strategy because it's a great way of getting cash flow coming in without spending lots of money and without having to get a mortgage and do all the complicated stuff. It's a really great strategy to really get you going. And if you're someone who wants to replace their income, it's the perfect way to do that. So what's in it for you? You're going to get some great content, free stuff there. That's going to explain exactly how it is that I've done this strategy, how we do this strategy, and how you can do the same. Right? You can go there and you will know exactly how we run this strategy and how you can do exactly the same and repeat what it is that we do and make the same amount of money. We make at least £8,000, a minimum, bare minimum of £6,000 net. Right? This is not how much rent that is collected from the property. This is the profit of the property per property every single year from these properties. And we usually do them on at least a 5-year contract, and often we renew them. So at least £6,000 a year. Most of them are 8 or 10, between 8 and 10 grand a year per property. So if we get a deal that does 8 to 10 grand a year, the average person will probably need 2 to 3 deals and they will be able to leave their job. That's how simple it is. You don't need to put a lot of money in. You get returns of like over 200% per annum on your money if you know exactly how to do it. And really, there's some great people really taking this by storm. Andy Toller, who was on this a little while ago, he's taking this by storm. There's some other people I've coached who are taking this by storm. It's a great strategy. Go and download it. It's completely free. You don't have to pay anything for it. That's what's in it for you. I'll reveal exactly how I do it. And one last thing, one very, very last thing, and I've got to go because I'm meeting a friend for dinner who I haven't seen in a while. One very last thing. I'm doing these live streams every week on a Wednesday. Sometimes it's 50 minutes, sometimes it's 30 minutes. But I don't have a name for these live streams. I haven't got a name. I want to make this into a show. Well, it is a show, but I want, maybe we could come up with a name for this. And I've got no ideas. So if you've got an idea of what you think might be a good name for this weekly live stream, then put it in the comments below. I'd love to know. And like it and share it as well, because sharing is caring. And why not spread the love of all the information that I share freely on here with all the people that you know who it might help. So good night, everybody. Have a great evening, and go download that case study. And I will speak to you next week on Wednesday. Take care, guys.